Alright, tonight I got a little bit of interesting stuff to show, and I got a few more parts laying here than what was laying here a couple days ago. And I just want to say that if there's any Nebraska fans out there, I humbly accept Penn State's defeat tonight. But anyway, last night the 350 made a split decision. And I pulled the transmission cover off here, the platform. Everything looks fairly decent up underneath here. I got a little bit of cleaning to do, but it looks half decent. Had a bugger of a time getting this thing off. I had to heat almost every single bolt to get the socket to go down over it, and then to get them to turn out. So a couple of them came out fairly easy, but the rest I had to heat. And here she is right now. I just took the big transmission jack here, which actually worked really nice. Pulled the TA plates off the bottom, and the transmission jack goes right under the TA section here, and that worked great. I got my little thing over here, adjusted the pitch of it so the engine part here sat level. Took all the bolts out, and the front just slid right away from the back. That worked really good. Just blocked up the rear end underneath the fast hitch. And actually, it's pretty well balanced right now. I can actually jump on the fast hitch here, and the front moves. So I'm not too worried about falling. I can pick it right back up if it does fall. Trying to think what I was going to say here. Inside the transmission, I'm actually very pleased. All these gears are a little bit rounded off on the edge, but other than that, most of these gears are in really good shape. Whoever had it took their time, didn't just go slamming it in the gear all the time. A lot of these teeth are still nice and real nice on the edges. This roller bearing up here I'm going to replace, and I'm probably going to end up replacing all the bearings in this. But actually, a lot of these bearings are still good yet. This one back here, I mean, it's got a little bit of play in it, but it's nothing that's really bad. I'm actually really pleased with it. Fire truck's outside. It's got a little bit of backlash between the pinion here and the ring gear, so I can't really hold both of them. I'm trying to think of a way to do this here, but there's not much. So the backlash between the pinion and ring gear, that's really good. It's got a little bit of play in the differential here, but nothing that's really too bad. So overall, I'm actually very happy with this. I'm going to take it apart, clean everything up, replace the bearings as needed. I'll probably end up taking the differential apart, putting new bearings and stuff like that in that. I have to pull my axle out, so it needs a seal on the inside, so I might as well pull the axle out, put new bearings on both of these axles. I thought maybe the PTO was rusted, but when you engage a PTO, I can turn it by hand, so that's free. It's not as bad as I thought it was on the inside, but it's still got a lot of sludge. I don't know how well you can see, but it's got a lot of sludge down there in the bottom. And even after all this, I still got almost another half gallon of water out of ever draining everything. So now I can definitely get all the water out and wash it all down with kerosene. All my bull gears here are a little interesting looking with sludge and everything else. Got a bunch of junk on the differential and stuff like that here. I'm going to get that taken care of. See, I don't know if you can see it right there in the corner, a little puddle of water. Move on up here to the TA. All these gears up here look real good. That one looks real good. My splines on my PTO in the bottom shaft here look pretty good. Nothing I'm too worried about. Everything looks pretty decent up here in the TA section. The clutch is working like it should. All these gears are nice and sharp yet. I don't know where I want to take this apart. I know I'll at least wash it down with kerosene. All this is going to be washed down. I don't know where I want to take this apart or not. Really don't want to, but I might end up doing it while I have it apart this far. And to be honest, I'm not sure what I have to do to pull all of this out. So I'm going to have to read the manual and find out, I guess. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I pulled the belt pulley off. I'm going to attempt to get it loose. I'm not going to attempt, I am going to get it loose. I'm going to tear it apart, pull the cap off, pull the shaft out, pull everything apart here, see whether it's just a stuck bearing or whether there's more of an underlying problem. But it shifts, the gears shifts on the splines good, so that's not stuck. But here she is right now. I'm going to get ripping in the transmission, get everything ripped out of that. And I'm kind of stuck right now because it's backed in right beside the Super MD here. So it's going to be rough to get the wheels off, but considering how well balanced it is, I'll probably end up just pushing this whole front end over in front of the baler, throwing a jack stand underneath it in case it decides to do anything funky. Then I'll probably just pick up the whole transmission here and roll everything forward. And back here, while I have the part this far, my PTO seal back here leaks. I can't remember exactly where it's at. Not this one. Where is that? Oh, it's at the bottom here. This bottom. That seal's bad, so this PTO's leaking. So before I go putting all new gear oil in it, might as well rip the PTO off and fix that while I'm in here. But like I said, overall I'm very well pleased with the internal condition of gears and everything. Not really with the sludge and everything, but with the mechanical condition I'm very happy. And let's see if I can get some of this sludge out here in the bottom. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh yeah. Great. That's my favorite thing to see right there. Not really, but you get the point. Alrighty, well, look for an update here. Hopefully by the end of next week I'll have something a little more done to it. So, alrighty, believe that's all for now. I'm gonna get some stuff cleaned up here and see what I can do for the night. So, thanks for watching. Got the first set of gears out, and I'm gonna quit for the night earlier than I want to, but I'm injured once again. Let's see that line right there and a line right there. Sliced my fingers open. Pulled the gears out, and en route of carrying them over to my workbench, tripping over everything in my way, I sliced open my fingers on the edge of one of those gears. I'm not sure, had to have been on this one because that's what I was carrying in my left hand. I guess I drip of water off of that, but the edges of the teeth here, a couple of them are beat up pretty bad. Kind of sad you can't see. I don't know if I can zoom in on it, how well you can see it. Nah, it's not going to focus. Alright. But you can kind of see it, whereas edge of these teeth were kind of eating away. I think there's only a couple, but my blood napkin. But and I started to take the bottom. I got the bottom shaft out, the drive shaft for the PTO. I got it out, and unfortunately, I took that last thing off there, and this piece of casting fell off. So I guess I'm about to get a new. I think that's a retainer. And then that nut right there, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get that thing off because it is beat up beyond belief. So somebody had this apart at one time. I'm not exactly sure what that is right there. It's like almost dug into the keyway for the shaft, so that is going to be hard to get off. I'll probably end up heating it, I guess. I'll probably take a chisel and a grinder and cut that off. But all these, they're beat up pretty bad, so I'll probably end up taking torch, putting on it. And I think we might have a big enough socket up there to put on there, try and turn that off. But that's going to be the next challenge. So, other than that, that's all I got done.